Hi, friends. This is the math lesson for second grade. This is Unit 4, Lesson 21. For today and tomorrow's lesson, we are going to be working on two-step word problems. Now, we worked with two-step word problems way back in Unit 1, but now the numbers that we're using are a little bit larger. So they aren't necessarily more complicated than they were in Unit 1, but they might seem a little bit harder. So as a reminder, when we are doing two-step problems, it is super important to figure out what they are asking and what needs to be done to figure out that answer. Now, sometimes it is a true two-step where you have to do two separate equations, and sometimes you might be able to just figure out what it's asking for, or it has like a bit of a hidden question. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We just need to solve the problem. In these word problems, we don't have to draw a picture necessarily, but as always, draw a picture if it helps you. So here we go. Page 211. A farmer has 2 crates of milk for sale. Each crate has 24 bottles. He sells 35 bottles. How many bottles are left? Now, typically, we can find the first thing that we need to solve in the beginning of the question. So I'm trying to figure out how many milk bottles he has left after selling 35. But I know that he has 2 crates for sale, and each crate has 24. So I have to figure out how many crates of milk, or how many total bottles, see, even I make mistakes, how many total bottles of milk he has. So if you have 1 crate of 24 bottles and another crate of 24 bottles, how many total bottles do we have? So we're going to start by figuring out that. So go ahead and write 24 plus 24. And now we can solve for that. So we are going to do 8 or 4 plus 4, which is 8. No new groups. And then we have 2 plus 2, which is 4. Okay, so we know that he has 48 total bottles. Now, here's where the next step comes in. Of those 48 bottles, he has 35, he sells 35. And so we're trying to figure out how many milk bottles are left. So we're going to do 48 minus 35. And now I can subtract that. 8 minus 5 is 3. And 4 take away 3 is 1, for an answer of 13 milk bottles left. Now, our label is technically bottles of milk. You could just write bottles, that would be fine. Or you could write milk bottles. All right, give you a minute to catch up. And let's keep on going. Number 2. There are 26 children at the library. So right now, imagine 26 children in the library. 12 are girls and the rest are boys. Now pause there. Is that a problem in itself? Yes, I can figure out how many boys there are in that library. So let's keep that in mind and keep reading. Then 7 more boys come to the library. So there were 12 girls and some boys. Then 7 more boys come to the library. So what I need to do first is I need to figure out how many boys were in the library to start. So I know that this right here is my first question. So I have 26 6. Now, since we're missing a partner, if you would like to do the adding up method, you could write 12 plus box equals 26 and solve it that way. Your choice. So 6 minus 2 is 4, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So there's 14 boys in the library, but then what happens? 7 more boys come. So now I'm going to take my 14 boys and I'm going to add 7 boys to that to get my final answer. So 4 plus 7 is 11 with a new group, and then 1 plus 1 is 2 for an answer of 21. 21. And our label is boys. All right, and question number 3, last one on this page. Jeff has 2 boxes of crayons and 15 other crayons. So if we stop right there, can we really figure out this problem right now? No, we can't, because we don't know how many boxes or how many crayons are in each of his boxes. So we have to keep reading. It says each box contains 36 crayons. So similar to the crates of milk had bottles in it. The boxes of crayons have crayons in it. So I'm going to figure out, in order to figure out how many crayons he has altogether, I need to start by figuring out how many crayons are inside those boxes. So I'm going to do 36 plus 36. 6 plus 6 is 12, and a new group. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So there's 72 crayons in his boxes. Now, think of your crayons. You might find some in like a container, or maybe your sister or your brother took some of them. So you might have other crayons elsewhere. So then we have 72 plus 15 others. And now we can find his altogether amount. So 2 plus 5 equals 7, and 7 plus 1 equals 8. So we have 87 crayons. All right, friends, take a deep breath. We are halfway done with our word problems for today. Turn your page over. All right, page 212. If you would like to attempt these on your own, feel free to do so. Once you finish, you can fast forward to the end of the video and check your answers. So Whitney collects 18 cans for recycling. Tara collects 9 cans. Julia collects 12 more cans than Whitney and Tara collect together. How many cans does Julia collect? Now, there is a lot going on in this problem, okay? So we know that we have people that are doing things, or they have things, and I see the word more. So we are going to need to do comparison bars. So what I would like you to do is draw your comparison bars. This is actually going to be for the second step, and I'll show you why. That's why I drew mine kind of down here. Now, this sentence right here tells us our comparison bars, how we're going to fill them in. So first, we are going to figure out who has more. It says Julia collects 12 more cans than Whitney and Tara. So I'm going to put my J right here, and then I'm going to do a WT for Whitney and Tara. I see the number 12 and the word more, so I know that goes in here. Now, do I know how many Julia collected? No, that's what I'm trying to figure out. How many cans does Julia collect? Do I know how many Tara and Whitney collected together? Not necessarily, but I can figure it out. So I know Whitney collects 18 and Tara collects 9. So over here, I'm going to solve 18 plus 9 so I can figure out how many did Whitney and Tara have together. So I have 8 plus 9 is 17 with my new group, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. So I know that Whitney and Tara collected 27 altogether. Now I can figure out how many Julia collected because we know she collected 12 more than Whitney and Tara collected together. So I have 27 plus 12 because I'm looking for a total. 7 plus 2 is 9 and no new group. And then 2 plus 1 is 3 for an answer of Julia collects 39 cans. All right, moving on to number 5. We're going to do number 5 together, and then I'm going to have you try number 6 on your own. Margie has 17 balloons. Logan has 9 more balloons than Margie. Bonnie has 12 fewer balloons than Logan. How many balloons does Bonnie have? So we're kind of in the same situation here. This problem has 3 different people, and I see the word more right there and fewer right there. So guess what, boys and girls? We're doing 2 sets of comparison bars. So why don't you go ahead and get your comparison bars ready? And then you're also going to need space to do some work. So maybe you have to go like more over here to do your work. So let's kind of break this down. We know Margie has 17. Logan has 9 more than Margie. That is our first problem. So I know that it tells me Logan has 9 more, so he goes on top and Margie goes on bottom. I know that 9 more goes in my oval. And Margie has 17, so that goes right here. And I'm going to put my question mark in that top box. So now I can figure out 17 plus 9. I can solve that. Take a minute and solve 17 plus 9. Okay, so 17 plus 9. 7 plus 9 is 6 in a new group, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. And since I know that I need Logan's information, I'm going to put my 26 right there. Now, we learned that Bonnie has 12 fewer balloons than Logan. So I know that Bonnie has fewer than Logan. From my first problem, I know that Logan has 26. And I know that Bonnie has 12 fewer. So that's going to go in the oval. Now I can solve this. This time I'm solving for a partner. So if you'd like, you can do the adding up method. Or you can subtract 12 from 26. Go ahead and do that for me. 6 minus 2 is 4, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So we learned that Bonnie has 14 balloons. All right, and last problem. I will read it to you and then I'll give you a chance to solve it on your own. Mr. Tyson makes 75 rings to sell at a fair. He sells 16 on the first day, He sells some more on the second day, and now he has 22 rings left. How many rings did Mr. Tyson sell on the second day? So we know that this first part is our first step. So take a minute and try and solve this problem. Okay, friends, how did you do? Let's check. So we know that Mr. Tyson, he has 75 rings to sell, and that he sells 16 on the first day. So that is my first problem. So I'm going to do 75 minus 16. I can't do 5 minus 6, so I go next door, cross off the 7, change it to a 6, and bring back 10. 15 minus 6 is 9, and 6 minus 1 is 5. So after the first day, he still has 59 rings. Now let's look at the second part. It says he sells some more on the second day, but now he has 22 left. So if he has 59, he sells some more, which we don't know, for a total of 22. We can solve this problem. We are missing a partner. So you can either do another subtraction, 59 minus 22, or if you prefer the adding up method, you could flip that into an addition equation with the box in the middle and solve from there. 9 minus 2 is 7, and 5 minus 2 is 3, for an answer of 37 label rings. All right. Excellent job today, friends. Here are all the answers if you need to check, and we'll get some more practice tomorrow. See you later, friends. Great job.